What's going on, guys? Troy and Mountain Man Treasure, and it's Wednesday, and that could only mean one thing. That means it's What's Sold Wednesday. You might have not known that since we just started it last week, but it's going to be a thing. So here's what we're going to do. It's been about, I don't know, 8, 9 days of not telling you what sold. At least on here, we do drop stuff on Instagram when we make some cool sales, when we pick up some neat things. So follow us over there at Mountain Man Treasure, all one word slammed together. But what we're going to do here, I'm not going to run through an exhaustive list of what sold over the last like week and a half. We'd be here for 45 minutes and nobody wants to sit there for 45 minutes. I'm going to try and run these through as quick as we can. We'll tell you where we got them, what we paid for them, and you can see on the screen how much they paid for, how much they sold for. That's what we're trying to say. If this is the kind of thing that you like, underneath, hit subscribe. This is the kind of stuff we put out. We put out garage sale videos. We put out Reseller 101. We do live interviews Monday nights. We're going to come back. We're going to circle around at the end and talk about this last Monday night because it was really, really cool. If this is the kind of stuff you like, subscribe. We're almost to 800, which is really, really cool. We're trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. I think we're going to make it. Hit the bell. That'll let you know when we put up new content. It'll send you a notification. And hit the like. Believe it or not, that really, really helps getting this out to more people. I learned so much on YouTube that I'm trying now to give back and teach what I've learned to folks like me who were starting out trying to figure out, what do I pick up? What do I sell? How do I sell? That's what we're trying to do. So hit that thumbs up, comment down below, all that stuff. So let's get into what we sold. And like I said, I'm going to run through these relatively quickly. If you've seen my channel for any amount of time, you know I love selling these things. The short shorts, booty shorts, Daisy Dukes, whatever you want to call them, they sell. You can get them at garage sales for relatively cheap, sometimes for 25, 50 cents. You can even get them at thrift stores a lot of times for as little as $1. Now, you don't want to spend too much on them because they don't sell for high dollars, at least not most of them. Most of them that I sell, between 12 and 15 bucks or thereabouts, often free shipping. But when you get them that cheap, they weigh, I don't know, 10 ounces or so to send out. So it's first class, very, very cheap. It's an easy anywhere between 5 and 10 bucks that you make. So if you don't mind selling the smaller dollar stuff, and I certainly don't, there's a lot of it in the list here this morning. This is something you ought to keep an eye out for. Next on the list, this just a weird little thing to show you that weird sells. Picked this up in a estate sale just like 2 blocks from my house. This is one of those things that sits on the sink and you put your little scrubby inside there. I don't know. I put, mid-century modern art deco. I don't know. It's a chicken. This actually went to Australia. Somebody sent me a message there. The lady said, I don't know why, but I've fallen in love with this thing. And I'm glad because I got it thinking, it needed to go to a good home. So I thought it was really cool, and I'm glad somebody else did also. That on its way to Australia right now. This really cool. This is a old McDonald's set. Believe it or not, the old McDonald's play sets sell for really good money. Now, I found this one loose. If you find them with the box, and this one also not complete, it's near complete, but if you found them with the box and complete, they can be worth quite a lot of money. It's not just this one. They have different sets, so keep an eye out. There are collectors out there. This one took a little while to move just because not in a box, not complete. That's what a collector wants. But it's still sold. So even if you find the parts and pieces, if you found like half of this, you could probably part it out and sell the individual pieces for people trying to complete their sets. So that's something to think about as well. The next one, this is something that we bought in I bought this and an old advertising clock. Now the clock was the big dollar thing. This was the thing I got them to throw in. We paid 50 bucks at an estate sale for both of these together. The clock sold a little while back, beginning of the year, I think in January, for $250 plus shipping to California. That was a big sale. Obviously made all our money back on there, made a couple $100. This was the throw-in, took longer to move, but it's a box. It was easy to ship. I put the box in a box. Now I did put some bubble wrap on it because we didn't want to bang around the edges or the sticker design on the front, but super easy to ship. And somebody paid like 80, what was it, 81, 82 bucks to have this thing shipped across the country. So it's a niche, but there is a group of advertising collectors when it comes to dairy. So if you find that stuff, and again, you get it at the right price, you might want to look into it. This something small, but just something to show you that Halloween sells all year round, guys. Christmas does to an extent. Halloween really does. I picked up a whole bunch of masks last year as it neared Halloween. The thrift store was trying to clear them out, and I was buying masks for like 10 cents, 25 cents, and I bought the ones that looked good, that were in good shape, and they're in a milk crate down here. I've still got a whole bunch. I sold a whole bunch. Still got a whole bunch left. Picked them up at garage sales. They will sell sort of like the shorts. They're going to sell for 10 to 15 bucks, some a little bit higher. Brands you want to look out for that are going to be potentially worth more. Paper Magic Group, or PMG. That's one to look out for. And they have actually other designs as well, or other decorations as well. You want to keep an eye out for Don Post, or I think a lot of times it's Don Post Unlimited. He's a makeup artist and designer, and some of those masks and decorations higher end, and they will command more money. Easter Unlimited and Fun World, those basically the same company. They made the original Scream masks. And some of those can be very big money if they're the original vintage, like first run stuff. So keep an eye out for masks. If you can get them for cheap, they do sell, and they sell relatively well. They also don't take up any room, which is super nice. This one you saw in a thrift haul. I picked this one up at Goodwill. It's sold in a day, guys. Arcteryx or Arctrix, I'm not sure, Arcteryx. Keep an eye out for the logo there. It's like a little fossilized critter. That is their design. That's their logo. This is a desirable brand. I've only come across it twice out there in the wild in the last year and a half. It's sold very quickly both times and for good money. So keep an eye out for this stuff. Next up, another thing that's small and not a lot of money, but does sell, something to watch out for at garage sales, golf club covers. This one, I actually picked up two of these. One of them basically sold for about 12 bucks. One sold for about 10 bucks. Not big money, but I only paid a buck a piece at the thrift, and people like goofy, weird golf club covers, so keep an eye out for that sort of thing. The Simpsons. Guys, DVDs do still sell. I sell DVDs all the time, and a lot of times if a TV shows tend to sell pretty well a lot of times. If they're streaming, the value goes down. You know what? It hasn't on The Simpsons. I picked this up in a marketplace deal. I paid $25 for 8 seasons. It was 1 through 9, and we skipped season 8. We were missing one season in there. But there were 2 new seasons. This one of them. This was the more desirable. I paid $25 for all of them. Doubled our money on this one alone, and they paid $20 for me to ship it internationally to Canada. So keep an eye out for this particular cover. It's more rare. I've also got one newer one, and you can see I even sold some used ones. We'll show you those here in a minute. This another animation cell. This from the old Tex Avery animation, the Droopy cartoon, Droopy dog. This is the wolf. I've got several of these, and they're slow, but they do sell. And I've sold some Flash Gordon. I've sold some He-Man. People like these, and they're relatively rare and actually really, really easy to ship. So. And a neat thing to have in the store. I think it brings eyeballs to the store because there's not a lot of people that have some of this stuff. This one is something that you can find at garage sales, or particularly estate sales. If you're looking in the garage at an estate sale, maybe even if you get there late. I got there late on this one, and I did no fancy lighting. It's tools. People looking for tools, they don't much care. You can put it on your workbench. That's what I did. I put it on my workbench. I've done the same with saws, with Craftsman wrenches. I just put it on my workbench and take a picture. It works just fine. This, an old vintage nail puller. Surprised me, it actually went international. It went to Brazil, as I recall. But this would have sold in the States as well. It actually did not last long. I only picked it up for a couple bucks. So keep an eye out for vintage tools. Stanley, Craftsman. Those are a couple of the bigger brands. These you saw me pick up in a big thrift haul from Goodwill. I think they were $2.99. I got a whole bunch of different ones. I wish they were all this size. I said at the time these were probably going to be the first to go, and sure enough, the 12 wides were the first to go. And we make a couple bucks on them. We don't get rich, but they're very, Excuse me. They're very easy, and it was kind of fun having them and selling them. I know Kevin over Commonwealth Picker says, when in doubt, part it out. I kind of say without a doubt, never a doubt, part it out. I picked up a couple of crock pots recently with the intent of selling the parts. When people are, when they have something that they love and something on it breaks, they want to replace that part because they want to keep using the thing. There's not many people out there looking for a 40-year-old crock pot. There are people looking for the insert to a 40-year-old crock pot because theirs broke and they wish they could still use it. Where are they going to go? They're going to go to eBay. So this sold, the lid already sold for like 20 bucks. I paid $3 for the whole thing. The knob that goes on the front, that thing's going to sell too. That's in my little smalls bin. Eventually that's going to go, and we're going to make good money off of a $3 investment. This one going out to Nikki T. Nikki, thanks so much. Nikki actually bought this during a premiere. The thing was still showing, and this was one of the things I picked up in the sale. And she bought it right near the end of the premiere. She went into my store and I had already listed it, and she snagged it. So go and check out Nikki T, married, of course, to Rev Resale. Go out and check out his channel. He's an amazing guy. She is too. They're just amazing people, and he has really, really good content. So if you're not subscribed, go and check out Rev Resale. I promise you're going to learn something and you're going to have a good time because he's a good guy. So Nikki, thank you so much for this guy. We picked this guy up, you can see, just a couple videos back at a garage sale just outside of town. This actually, that's the back of the shirt. Let's show you the front of the shirt. This is a single stitch, which means it's like mid-90s or sooner. They only put one stitch in the sleeve. That's what single stitch means. Now, once they hit mid to late 90s, for the most part, companies started putting 2 stitches in the sleeve. So that's how you can tell if it's single stitch. There's a good chance now. I think American Eagle, or there's a couple that do it now just for the look, but it's actually, as I understand, more expensive, so a lot of them don't. So if you find a single stitch shirt, there's a good indication it's mid-90s or sooner. This, of course, the Beatles. I didn't see another one like this. I just thought it was really neat. Got it at Goodwill for I think it was $1.99. Look at the back now, because it was a front and back graphic. I just thought it was neat, and so grabbed that, put it up for auction just to see what would happen. Priced it high, $39.99. It picked up 2 watchers, but didn't sell. So when it ended, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it again. And I put it up for auction again because all you need is one person, right? When you bought something for $2 and you price it high, you need one person to like it and to bid. And sure enough, they did. So we sold this for $39.99 plus shipping. Believe it or not, Beatles single stitch t-shirts, there's quite a few of them out there. I wouldn't have guessed. And the sell-through rate, not particularly good. Again, wouldn't have guessed. So that's why I tried something different with the auction, and instead of a buy it now, and it paid off. This I picked up over the weekend in York. This a couple stops before we picked up that moose plush. Keep an eye out for filters. New sealed filters. These HEPA filters are really, really good. I picked up this for $1. I picked up another box of different filters for $1, and between the two of them, we're going to make about $60 off of a $2 investment. Filters. They're not sexy, guys, but they do sell because they're expensive. This one had an original price tag of $39.99, as I recall, from Bed Bath & Beyond. So that's something you want to watch for at sales. This something you also want to keep an eye out for. This just an old PC game. Now, there's a couple things this has going for it. It's complete. It's got all the manuals. It's got the discs. Big box. It comes with the box. A lot of times, some of these games, they're big box games, but people threw away the box. We had the box here, so that's a very good thing. Flight simulators tend to sell pretty well, so keep an eye out for flight simulators. Especially, flight, when it crosses and you got a flight simulator big box game, you got a double winner there. This lasted a little while, and we didn't get a ton of money on it, but I got this in a whole pile of games for nothing because people getting rid of these think they're not worth anything, and a lot of other resellers are going to walk past them because they don't know that they're worth anything. So you find old big box games. Some of them actually are really high dollar items. And there's our Simpsons. These were open. They were used, though she told me they only watched them once and they put them away. So, I put that in there. And, of course, took them out and checked all the discs. The discs are immaculate. They had all the inserts, all that. I could have sold these off individually, maybe eventually made a few bucks more, but nobody at the time I listed these had seasons 1 through 5. Every once in a while, people put up seasons 1 through 5, and you would see that they would sell. And usually they sold between 20 and 25 bucks, but mine were in great condition, and I had the only ones available. So I priced it up a little bit, and we made a couple bucks more, which is cool. Remember, we paid $25 for everything, so this paid it off. Or again, we paid it off with the other Simpsons, however you want to look at it. But I guess at this point, this one, 100% profit. Now, if you're new to reselling, you might think NASCAR stuff. I bet that sells. No, I don't know why. It just doesn't. I mean, my guess is because their marketing department, their merchandising is on top of it, and they crank out the stuff. T-shirts, hats, stickers, whatever it is, they crank it out. I think there's just too much of it out there. The market's saturated. But there are exceptions to every rule. The exception to my don't pick up NASCAR rule, Dale and Dale Jr. That stuff does sell. Now, not all of it, but a lot of it does sell. I picked this up, I don't know, 2 weeks ago at the local thrift, paid $1.50. They sent me an offer of 15. I'll show you the back here. Actually, it's really cool. It's a front and back all over graphic. They sent me an offer of 15. I countered at 18 to meet in the middle of their price and mine, and they took it. So $1.50 into 18 bucks. Now it's free shipping, but it only costs, what, $3 to ship this thing out. So we make pretty good money for sliding a shirt into a poly mailer. And then the last thing, watch for advertising, and specifically advertising on these old thermoses, the thermal travel mugs you got from gas stations. This is a gas station, Phillips 66. I found these for $1 a piece at the thrift, really only 2-3 weeks ago. And you saw some of these out there, but I didn't see any together. So I decided, you know what, let's post them together, sell them as a set. Somebody sent me an offer of $16.55 today, saying, you know what, it's just because of the shipping cost, and it came out to an even $25, because these together like a pound and a half. They're a little bit heavy. And so I was fine with that. I was only $2 in, and they said they wanted to give this as a Father's Day present. I thought, it's kind of cool. So we took that, and we made a few bucks. They just slid into, actually, they stacked right on top of each other with a little bit of air pillows in between, and one of the USPS shoe boxes. Fit in there perfect. So very, very easy to pack up and ship out, and somebody's going to get a unique, cool Father's Day gift. So pretty cool. Keep an eye out, like I said, for advertising mugs. Now, you don't want them if they're all scratched up, but if they're in great condition like this, could be a good thing, and very often you can get them cheap. So that's some highlights of what we sold this week out of our eBay store. Once again, if this is the kind of stuff you like, hit the subscribe down below. That'd be awesome as we inch our way towards 1,000. No huge sellers this week, but you know what? That happens. And that's when you get by on the filler stuff, the meat and potatoes, as I call it. And lots of $5, $10, $20 items, they pile up quick, and you're going to make good money, especially if you're getting these things at the right price. So thanks for stopping in, guys. I do want to circle around real quick and mention, we talked about at the front end. We had the live show the other night. Reagan from Homeschool Hustlers. Check her out on Instagram, on YouTube. She is the daughter of Kevin over at Commonwealth Picker, and she's fantastic. She's 9 years old. We had some technical difficulties with the show last night, and she sat through it, and she's a champ. She did really, really, really well. And thank you to everybody who showed up. We had the biggest crowd that we've had to come in and watch her, which I know she just got a kick out of. She was so excited. And really the grand finale of the show is we ran a couple of auctions as a charity for St. Jude Children's Hospital. They give kids from all across the country free care for some pretty serious ailments, from some pretty bad situations. It's completely free. It's an amazing organization. And Reagan has started doing some charity stuff to raise money for them. And so we brought that into the show last night. We auctioned off some of her artwork and something that Kevin had, an Enaman scrub top that was donated to him by Patriot Picker. Did that, and we did an auction on both of those. And that, along with a couple of donations, Flip with Chris, Bill came in, Bill Tackett, he came in and was huge, and Rev Resale. Those guys, you led the way. There were more folks, of course, but you guys leading the way. Bill ends up winning the thing and says, you know what, Kevin, keep that, auction it again, and keep money. Chris bowed out of trying to win the thing and said, you know what, Bill can have it, but I'm going to give you some money anyway. And Rev, I don't know what more to say about Rev. You are a fantastic human person. All told, because we actually then put up some stuff on commonwealthpicker.com immediately after the show, that also going to charity. All told, we raised $725 through one little YouTube show for St. Jude. And I couldn't be more thrilled, guys. Thank you so much. It exceeded my hopes. You guys came through, and I'm a radio guy. I talk for a living, and there were several moments last night when I didn't know what to say, and I was touched, and I was blessed to be a part of that. I just thank you, thank you, thank you, and just on a personal person level, Reagan couldn't stop smiling. I mean, you guys made that little girl's day. You made her month. And from hearing from Heather and from Kevin afterwards, she's just walking around. She's floating. And so thank you guys so much for doing that. It's such a neat thing. So go and check out her Instagram and YouTube, Homeschool Hustlers. And if you're not, I can't imagine why you wouldn't be, but go over and subscribe to Commonwealth Picker. He's been doing this for 20 years. I've learned a lot from him. You guys can too. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I sure appreciate you. And that's what we got for today on What Sold Wednesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. We got a garage sale video coming up. We'll see you then.